Welcome back to another video on Influential Sports. And last night, OKC took a commanding 3-0 lead after coming back from being down 29 points. Now, the biggest comeback in recent playoff history is when the Clippers in 2019 came back in Game 2 versus the Warriors, down 31 and tied the series 1-1. SGA was part of that team. He had about 5 points in that game, I think, but he did have some solid minutes. He wasn't scoring a lot back then, but he was an impactful rookie, and now he's became one of the superstars of the league. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Grizzlies and OKC games from last night and a much-needed win for the Grizzlies, which they were not able to get. They lost the first game by 51. They got blood in the second game again. It wasn't as bad as the first, but it was still bad. Then the third game, they completely flipped the switch. I mean, they were on Scottie Pippen Jr. and Ja, they were on fire in the first half. Scottie Pippen Jr. had 23 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds, 2 steals in the first half. Another guy that the Lakers let go for whatever reason, but not going to get into that. Jaren Jackson was out-rebounded by Scottie Pippen Jr., Desmond Bain, and Zach Edey. And Zach Edey is the only guy that's taller than him. Jaren Jackson Jr., I got something for you at the end of the video. But the Grizzlies, they were up 77-51 after the first half. Like Ja, we'll get into Ja in a second, but he had 15 points, 5 assists, and he was really doing it all. He was out there playmaking, he was out there scoring. He had a plus 16, and then he went down with an injury. I don't know what he was attempting to do with Luke Dort, Luke Dort, you saw he was falling and he was trying to get up, and I don't know why he decided to jump over him. That was a dumb play by Ja. Prayers up to him because you never want to see injuries. But I really did not understand what was the purpose of what he was trying to do. He could have just took a layup, or he could have passed it to his teammate because somebody was right there under the basket. And then, who was it? Salty Aldama. He had a great first half as well, with 12 points being a plus 15. So then, like I said, those were the main guys that were impactful. Salty Aldama, Bain, and not Desmond Bain, you suck. Scottie Pippen and Ja, they were the three that was really impactful. They held Chet to 0-4, held Luke Dort to 0-3, held Aaron Wiggins to 0-4, who was going off last game. And in this game, Shea was getting off 6-15. This was his best first half so far of the series. J-Dub was 7-10 with 18 points. So J-Dub and Shea were the only positives for OKC. Like I said, Scottie Pippen Jr. getting off to a hot start, that really helped Memphis. Jaren Jackson Jr. wasn't bad. It's just his rebounding that I don't like. That's why and then after Ja went down, that's when the momentum shifted and went in OKC's favor. But the Grizzlies were up 29, and this was a testament to see how well can the Grizzlies play. And I think if Taylor Jenkins is still the coach, they can win this game. Because coming back from down 29, it's not normal. You can blame it on whatever you want to, but a 29-point comeback is impressive regardless of the circumstances. When you're up 29 in a playoff game, you're supposed to win that game. This is not a game, even though Ja went down, being down 29, that's not a game that you usually come back in. So a 29-point comeback is definitely impressive. OKC ended up winning by 6. They won the game, and they won this because of Chet's very impressive second half with 23 points. He was a plus 27, had 5 rebounds, shot 8 of 12 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3. So that's a really impressive. That was a really great second half for somebody that struggled in the first half and wasn't able to make a field goal. I think he just had 2, or I don't know if he even scored in that first half. I can go back to it, but Chet, he had 1 point in the first half. He had 23 in the second half, and he had a great game. Had a great second half, and was able to lead them to a win. Like, if Chet doesn't do this, they aren't able to win that game. Because Shea struggled. He shot 4 of 11. J-Dub shot 2 of 6. The top 2 guys that was going off in the first half, they struggled after Ja went out. Because the Grizzlies put more focus on them. They was like, we're not going to let these 2 get off. But they didn't think about what Chet would be able to do. And Chet had a really great game. Then Scottie Pippen, he started to struggle. He shot 1 of 6. Desmond Bain was 2 of 10 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3. and had 8 points and 3 turnovers in the second half. Jaren Jackson had 3 turnovers. Scottie Pippen had 4 turnovers. Scottie Pippen is the main ball handler, so I'm not surprised he had 4 turnovers. But there's no reason for Jaren Jackson to have 3 turnovers as a big man, especially one that's barely controlling the ball. Then Luke Kennard went 0-3. Sauti Aldama went 1-5. John Carter went 0-2. In the second half, OKC defense, they picked it up in the third quarter. They went on that run to make this game competitive, to keep it close. And in the fourth quarter, they were still down, but they were able to take the lead, and they were able to win the game. The game overall, Shea ended up shooting 10-26. He only shot 10-27 last game. So Memphis did a good job of containing him. He really hadn't, even though he had 31 points, he hasn't been as efficient as he usually is. He had 31 points and 8 assists, and he had 3 turnovers. He almost fouled out with 5 fouls. But the main story of the game was really what Chet was able to do offensively in the second half, and then Caruso's outstanding performance. Even though it's not the most, in his 23 minutes, he had 10 points, 4 steals, 3 assists, and 6 rebounds, shooting 57% from the field, only 33% from 3. But he was a +5. He was really crucial in the second half, putting him on having him guard Bane and Scottie Pippen down the stretch. Luke Dort also played great defense. Offensively, he wasn't that great, but them two just able to play great defense and able to get OKC this win, and a much needed win, because you don't want to extend this series any further than it needs to be. So coming back from being down 29, one of the most impressive wins in playoff history, and being able to win this game, like they easily could have lost this game. This was a good testament to somebody that we look at as a potential championship team. If you can't come back 29 when their team is losing their best player, it's not necessarily a terrible thing. But if you show that you can do that, that is very impressive, because it shows you're prepared for any circumstance. When they did have the best player, you blew them out by 50 in the first game. Then you blew them out the second game by like 20. Then the third game, when their best player goes down, you don't fold under the pressure. You make the comeback, and you're able to win the game. So that's very impressive, in my opinion. So shout out to OKC for having this comeback win, led behind Chet and Ellis Caruso. Scottie Pippen Jr. finished with 28 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Shot 6 of 10 from 3, 8 of 16 from the field, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. On paper, the stats look good, but let me just say again, he did struggle in the second half. Scottie Pippen was only 1 of 6 from the field and 1 of 4 from 3 in the second half, because once Ja went out, they could put their focus on Scottie Pippen, because those were the only two that were really going off for the Grizzlies. And one more thing before I end this video, Marvin Bagley not playing, it doesn't make sense to me, because Marvin Bagley had 17 points on 8 of 8 field goal shooting in game 1. And then if I can go to other than the 50-point loss, then I go to game 3, and Marvin Bagley only played 11 minutes. So I don't know why he got less minutes, even though he was the only bright spot in game 1. But maybe if you play Marvin Bagley some more in the next game, maybe you have a chance. I mean, he won't make much of an impact, because he's still, where he was drafted, still doesn't. I mean, you got to try something. Give D.G. Jackson some run. Give Marvin Bagley Jr. some run. See what they can do, because this series is over. OKC is going to sweep the Grizzlies. I thought it could have at least went 5. But once the Grizzlies weren't able to get this win, being up nearly 30, yes, wraps. So it looks like we're getting OKC and the Clippers in the second round. And maybe there's still a chance for the Nuggets. We'll see what happens in game 4. But OKC got this. They got this series. They're going to sweep the Grizzlies. Maybe they get a lucky win in game 4. But shout out to OKC. This was a great team win. This was a great comeback.